I'm back. Okay, so it's been since November of 2021, last time I made a vlog. A lot of things have happened since then. I On my last vlog, I showed the house being built. As you can see, it's complete. I had a foundation at that time. Yay, I had a foundation. That was a long time ago, and I apologize, but a lot of things have happened in my life since that point. One of the things was COVID, and in on December 1st of 2021, I was tested positive for COVID. It was pretty good. It was one heck of a flu, I'll tell you that. On the 4th of December, my wife contracted COVID. On the 7th of December, a day that will live in infamy for me, uh, she passed away suddenly. It was a complication from the COVID. It was quite sudden, quite unexpected, obviously, and her comorbidity, I just cannot say that word. Her comorbidity was she had been a diabetic for most of her life, type 2 diabetic. She didn't need insulin, but she was on medication for it. Um, it was quite unexpected and quite traumatic, to say the least. So I pretty much dropped out of everything for the longest time. It takes a while. We've been married for 13 years, and we had a great life. We had the whole world in the palm of our hands. We had everything going for us, and then this happened. So when she passed away, all of the passwords for everything just went with her. Uh, I was unable to get back into my Jerry 1911 channel because I don't have the passwords. They went with her. Uh, I contacted YouTube and I asked them, "Hey, can I get this back?" And they says, "Well, we'll send a recovery code to your phone." It was her phone because she set up all the channels. She set up everything. She set up all my Google accounts, YouTube, and everything, except for this channel. I had set this up just to vlog as we went through the journey of getting my pickup and getting this house. So I had set that up myself on my Yahoo email. It wasn't through my Gmail. So when I couldn't get the recovery code because it was on her phone, which was locked, I had no way to change my passwords or anything else to get back into my Jerry 1911 YouTube channel. My apologies for that. I'm still working on it. I just life has been just monumental. Being a single person now, and we should have two people here running all this stuff. Yeah, okay, so it is what it is. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm still working on getting the Jerry 1911 back. Um, anyway, so life has been quite busy, chaotic, but it took me, I don't know, 6 to 8 months to where I really started feeling like I could live again, and I started dating and things. I'm just really not cut out to be a single person. Um, it's been almost 2 years, and I'm still a single person, but I'll explain that in a minute. Anyway, so um, I was trying. Vicky was my editor. She was my producer. She was my camera person. She did everything for me. She was quite technologically advanced. She's pretty savvy about everything technology. Myself, I'm an old person. I didn't grow up with a cell phone or computer. Yeah, I, I'm old. So anyway, I'm still trying to learn. This channel here, I downloaded KineMaster. It was recommended by several people, and I can get my video clips. And this is the fourth time I've tried to record this, third time. But I had 4 clips from the first attempt, and I can get it all put together in KineMaster, but there is no option to share it to YouTube. Now, everybody else has no problem. They've got that share button. For some reason, my software doesn't have a share button. I have no way to get the video from KineMaster to YouTube. So I'm going to do this all in one cut, and then I can directly upload it to YouTube. My apologies. It's going to be rough, but this is the way it's going to be until I can figure out this other editing software. I tried iMovie. That's even worse. And I'm recording this on an iPhone. Yeah, okay. So I went to an iPhone. My Android that I had, that I recorded all my other videos with on Jerry 1911 and on this channel, was on an Android. The Android was old. It lost its mind, whatever. I went to the phone store. I says, hey, look, you know, this isn't working. They says, oh, well, hey, you got to get a new phone. A girl I was dating at the time, she says, oh, get an iPhone. You'll love it. I got an iPhone, and the same day that I got the thing, I was so frustrated with it, I threw it across the yard against the house. It probably would have worked good to break the thing, but except I bought an OtterBox with it, so yeah, that protected it. Dang it. Anyway, I'm under contract, so I've got another 8 months before I can get an Android. Anyway, it is what it is. So once I get the video editing software to work and everything, then then I'll have better vlogs. So my vlog here, since I had a couple of relationships, local women I met on Facebook dating, actually. Yeah, for one reason or another, the chemistry wasn't there, so things didn't work out. I tried other dating sites. These would have been all long distance things. Actually, there were a couple that were here in Utah, but those other dating sites, they were very expensive, and it seemed like every woman that I met, all she wanted was money, or she wanted me to invest in crypto. Another scam. But anyway, you may invest in crypto, that's your business. But for me, I just can't see that. I mean, I gotta have the greenback dollars. Okay, so anyway, things weren't working. Sorry for the noise. Landscapers working next door. As you can see, I've got the house. I'll show you that in a minute, but let me explain what's going on. I'm going to try and make this as brief as possible, but you know me, I ramble. I got fed up with people that didn't have the same values as I do. They didn't want the same things that I wanted. A lot of them wanted just money from me without intentions of ever meeting. That just wasn't working. So I'd almost resigned myself to being single for the rest of my life. Not a happy prospect in my mind. So I joined, I did some research. I found this dating site. I'd been watching YouTube videos about expats, people from US, Canada, Europe, and things, that when they retire, they're moving to the Philippines. Now, my late wife was a Filipina, Vicky, Maria Victoria, and we had a great life. I loved the caring, the nurturing, the attention to the relationship. We had good solid values together. Like I said, we had everything in the palm of our hands because we worked so well together. But I started watching YouTube videos about the Philippines and things, because I remembered that when I retire, previous plans with my late wife, we had planned on moving to the Philippines and living a lot more comfortable lifestyle, a lot less money, and that's kind of what we were gearing up towards. We wanted to get this house, we wanted to get some equity in the house, and when we sold it, we could go and get a brand new house, big villa, pay cash for it, live cheaply, just off of my retirement, and we would live very comfortably. So I was watching these YouTube videos, and On one of them, the girl on there, she was talking about this dating site, Christian Filipina. I thought, well, let's see, Christian Filipina. Okay, well, let's check into it. So I did. I checked into it. I researched the how it was founded and what their values were and things. I thought, well, this might be something to look into. And so I signed up. Within 4 hours, excuse me, after signing up, I got a phone call from the Philippines. I'm like, hello? And they says, hi, we just want to make sure, who you are, what your values are, what your intentions are. Basically, it was an hour conversation with the lady there at the Christian Filipina office. And I thought, well, this is unusual. I've never had this with any other dating sites. So, um, I joined and I started seeing profiles and, a lot of really gorgeous ladies. Of course, I'm prejudiced. I had a Filipino wife and a lot of really good people had good values, Christian based and things. I'm not going to push my beliefs on everybody, but they are Christian based. And I thought, well, this might work out. So I started talking to several different ladies and things. And as I'm doing searches all the time, this one profile just kept coming up, coming up, coming up. And it was 6 times in one day that this same profile kept coming up. And that's the first time I'd ever seen a repeat offender. Repeat, yeah, okay. Anyway, but I had been talking to women that were in their 30s, anywhere from, say, 35 to 40. That was an age range I thought I could be comfortable with. Yeah, I'm a lot older, but age gaps in the Philippines don't mean anything, even if they're a big age gap. So they don't see age as an impediment to a relationship. And unlike all the U.S. women, I was with one... we were really good friends and stuff. She's 42. I'm a little older than that. Okay, so I'm a senior citizen now. Anyway, she had a child, and this other woman. Sorry, I'm rambling. She was 42. I'm quite a bit older than that. She and I had a lot of good times together. Spent a lot of happy times, just a lot of activities, great friends. And I asked her one day, I says, so you enjoy time together? She says, oh yeah, I enjoy our time together. I says, you have fun? Yeah. I'm respectful. Oh yeah. I says, so what's the difference between what we do now and dating? She says, oh, I'd never date you. You're too old. Okay. So anyway, the knife in the heart. It really made me believe that I was not going to find a suitable partner that was an American woman. So I got into this Christian Filipina. This profile kept coming up. All the women I'd talked to before, they were unmarried. There's no divorce in the Philippines. They had no children. And I thought, okay, this would be great. Maybe, I could meet one of these women and, we could develop a relationship, maybe eventually down the line, maybe have a child. Yeah, even at my age, okay? But this profile kept coming up 6 times in one day. And that was the first time I'd ever had a profile that came up more than once. So, unless I saved the profile in the dating site. But she was 45. She'd never been married, but she had a child. Now, that's something that's common in the Philippines, unwed mothers, because of the fact there's no divorce. And anyway, they make their indiscretions. They have a child, and then they have to raise the child by themselves. And that's what Christine, that's this lady, I sometimes refer to her as Chris. Her family refers to her as Chicky or Ate. Ate means sister. I'll explain that later. She had a really good profile, and I read it each time, and I was like, I really like what she has to say. She's well educated, She's got a foundation in English. In fact, one of her majors in college was English. She was an English major, and the other was business. Like I say, very well educated, very articulate. I just loved her profile. But the fact remained that she had a child, and I was kind of hesitant to become a dad again to somebody else's child. But I was raised by a stepfather and a mother, and my stepfather took my sister and I in, gave us all the care and attention that he would have if we'd have been his blood children. And it taught me a valuable lesson that they don't have to be of your blood to love them. And so I did a lot of praying, and finally I sent her a message. And I told her, I says, look, I really believe that I could be a good dad to your daughter, and I could be a good husband to you, and I believe that with what I've learned, you could be a good wife. So I sent that, and it took over a week before I ever got a reply, and I'd pretty much forgotten about it. I just figured, she just wrote me off. And I was talking to some other women at the time, but again, they really didn't have the life experience or know exactly what they wanted. But I got a message back from this Christine, and we started corresponding through emails, and eventually we started video chatting. I think it was on Yahoo Messenger, and then we moved over to WhatsApp. It's just a little bit better format. And ever since then, and this has been many months ago, we have just grown and grown and grown. And in a video chat, you are not going to be able to hide a lot of things. Your true nature is going to come out, because you're going to see each other in the good days, the bad days, in between days. And we started talking about every subject under the sun. We gained an intellectual appreciation for each other. She just completely intellectually stimulated me. She's very bright. She's, like I said, she's well educated. Her English is perfect. She's very articulate, and these are things that just really play a lot of things in my head. And then with that connection, we actually started developing an emotional connection, and eventually we even had a psychic connection. You've heard of couples that can finish each other's sentences. We can start each other's sentences before the others, and this happened all the time. Eventually we fell in love with each other. Jerry's in love. Okay, so this smile, that's like an almost permanent fixture on my face. She just made me so happy. But the big drawback is she's 7,300 miles away. She's 14 hours ahead of me in time zones. So connecting with each other, we've had to make allowances and adjustments to our schedules. We talk every day for 8 to 12 hours every day. We spend more time in a week together with each other on video chat. We haven't met each other in person yet. We spend more time talking to each other in a week than what most couples would do in over a month. We did the math, and yeah, I mean, we while she's working, we talk. While I'm working, we talk. Yeah, I drive truck, so I have a phone holder and I have a headset and things. We can talk while I'm driving, and it doesn't distract me because I'm talking. I glance down at the picture and things, or she wants to show me something, I'll glance down. But I'm, concentrating on my driving. It's something that's really important. But we do spend a lot of time together. We've gotten to the point where our connection is, I would say, unbreakable. And it's just something that I've never experienced before in my life. And with that, I got my passport. Why did I get a passport? Because December 28th of this year, I am flying to the Philippines. Okay, So I'm going to be with her. The reason the 28th is her mother's birthday is New Year's Eve. So I've gotten to know her parents, great people. I just love them to death. Her mother is one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met. Her dad, oh my God, just his humor, his values and things, they align with mine. Her whole family, she's from a family of 6 children. She's the second oldest. She has an older brother, then she has a lot of younger brothers and sisters. They are really good people. I've met most of them on chat. In fact, her next younger brother, Chuck, love you, Chuck. We started chatting with each other. We text each other throughout the day. He's become not just a future brother-in-law. Yes, future brother-in-law. Okay, I'll get to that. He's become a good friend too, and same with her parents. They've become really good friends. They've been very helpful. They're very well connected. The whole family is very well educated. God, they're just really good people. I don't think I'm going to have any problem integrating into the family and them into mine. She has met my family through video chat, and I've met hers through video chat. Okay, it's not the same as being there, but we're gonna resolve that. Again, I'm gonna get there on the 30th of December. I'll be arriving in Manila at noon local time. I've got a flight from Salt Lake to San Francisco. I'll have a 4-hour layover in San Francisco, and then I fly to Seoul, South Korea. I'll have a little over 2-hour layover there, and then to Manila. Sounds like a long flight, and it is, but some of the other flights that I'd looked into to book, they wanted me to fly from Salt Lake to Chicago, 4-hour layover in Chicago, fly to Hong Kong, 12-hour layover in Hong Kong, and then to Manila. It was somewhere around 48 to 53 hours of transit time. Are you kidding me? And I'm flying halfway around well, actually more than halfway around the world, flying to the east. To fly back, I would fly from Manila to Narita airport in Tokyo. Then I would have to transfer airports to Haneda, which is their international, I guess. I don't know why I have to transfer airports. And then I would have about a 3-hour layover in Haneda, and then I'd fly to Seattle. I'd have a 4-hour layover in Seattle, and then I'd fly home. Are you kidding me? I'm circumnavigating the whole globe to fly. So I did a lot of research. I talked to several travel agencies, and I found this one that would fly me in this route here, and then coming back I'll basically have the same thing, except I'll fly from Manila to Seoul, South Korea, and then to Incheon, and then from Incheon I'll fly to Seattle, so instead of San Francisco, and I'll have about a 4-hour layover in San Francisco, and then I'll fly home. And I will be leaving there on the 24th of January. I'll fly out around noon, a little over 2-hour layover in Seoul, Incheon, and then I'll have a 4-hour layover in Seattle, and then I get home. But I'm leaving on the 24th around noon, and I will actually arrive back to Salt Lake City, excuse me, around 8:30 p.m. on the 24th. That's that 14-hour time difference and different crossing the day-date line. Anyway, it's kind of funny. It just blows my mind, sort of. But I'm not a world traveler. Last time I had a passport, I was in some sandbox halfway around the world, in a very warm place. And when I got home in the springtime of 2021, I says, I'm not traveling again. I'm staying right here in the good old US of A. Until now. Okay, so it is what it is. Anyway, so we are getting married. Okay, I'll explain that in a few minutes. First, I want to give you a look around the house, but I'll explain. We're getting married right now, and we're tentatively for January 15th. and I'll explain the whole process here in a minute. But I want to give you a look at the house here. Again, I'm sorry for the rough cut and everything. I have to do it all in one take if I'm going to get it up on YouTube. It is what it is until I can figure out this KineMaster thing and figure out why I can't share what I put together in clips onto YouTube. I have no share button. It won't share. So let me take you out, show you around the house. Again, I'm on a tripod, so I'll walk out here. Again, my front porch is my happy place. The house, it's all landscaped, my tree, and the neighborhood. And my pickup, which I showed you the process of when I ordered that and got it. My newer camp trailer, I got that in January, and there's a reason. Every time I think about camping, it just reminds me of my late wife, and that brings me to the other thing that I got. I got a bigger Harley, and sorry for the mess in the garage. Trying to do everything by myself, not knowing where to put it. My late wife was very organized, but yep, it's my Harley Limited. It's a big beast, but every time I would ride on my other Harley, it would just remind me of the rides that my late wife and I took. So yeah, I needed to get out of that funk for a while. So let me set you back down. Okay, so the visa processes. Part of my vlog is going to be explaining the whole journey to having a complete life with my soon-to-be wife and her daughter. I'm gonna be a dad again. Anyway, she's a great girl. I just love that girl to death. She really needs a dad. I'm hoping to be that dad for her. Let me move this around just a little bit more. Okay. The visa process is just crazy. People can walk in from the southern border. Buena Venida. Anyway, welcome aboard. But if you try to come here on a visa, if you try to do things the legal way, oh yeah, CIS is just crazy. And that's why I'm going over to the Philippines myself to marry her instead of bringing her here on a B1, B2 tourist visa. She is on a 5-year restriction. She was here. She's been here several times. In fact, her whole family all members have been here many times. Canada, U.S., other countries in Asia. They're well traveled. But she was here in 2021. She did some things and circumstances that ran afoul of a B1, B2. She tried to enter again in 2022. For a long story, I'll explain that another time because I don't want this to be any longer than it has to be. She was detained in Boston and sent back to the Philippines. She has a 5-year restriction on a B1, B2 visa. So I can't bring her here, or she would be here now. I can't bring her here, spend 6 months, because that's the length of the B1, B2, 6 months. I can't bring her here. We start integrating our lives and find out if we want to get married. We're taking a risk. Yeah, I know that. We both are. But I think we have enough confidence in each other that things are going to work. So if I go over there and marry her, then when I get back, I'll apply for a CR1 visa. That's a spouse visa. I have to apply with the I-130. That's the application for the CR1. And that takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months for that to go through. Why? I don't know. I mean, today, couple of keystrokes on a computer should be all done, right? No. My passport only took 5 weeks. Why can't a visa do that too? I mean, they had to research me, they had to investigate me and stuff. It only took 5 weeks. They told me 7 to 9 weeks. that's on the expedited. On a standard visa, it could take anywhere from I think it was 6 to 10 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks on a regular visa. So I got mine in 5 weeks. So why can't they do that on a visa too? Don't know. They say one of the things I keep hearing from CIS is, well, we don't want to have marriages of convenience. Really? Convenient? 7,300 miles, 14 time zones? There's nothing convenient about that. Plus the expense to fly over. You don't even know how expensive that is. It's over $2,000 to fly over and back. $2,187, I think, if I remember correctly. Anyway, maybe it's $82, but anyway, still almost $2,200 to fly over and back. What's convenient about that? Taking a risk. There's nothing convenient. So anyway, when I get back, I'll fill out the I-130. I've got an immigration attorney. I saw her last week, and she filled me in on a lot of new things that I didn't know about visas. Okay, so we're going to give this a try. Since she has a restriction on her B1, B2, which shouldn't affect the CR1, but hey, it's the government. I expect everything to be affected negatively by the government, but then that's my own personal things. If that is rejected, then I have to file what's called an I-212, and that's an exemption for a restriction. And then we'll have to go through that process. Now that could take another 4 to 6 months for that to be approved or denied. And in the meantime, I have to go to a counselor to show why not having her here is a hardship. Really? I'm not flying halfway around the world, marrying a lady, and then coming back here and being without her, and that's not a hardship? I don't understand their whole logic in this whole thing. But I guess in the past there have been people that have come here and gotten married and things just so they could get their citizenship, and then they split. I imagine that happens everywhere around the world. And yeah, I mean, sure, it's happened here. I've heard stories, but the process we're going through, she will get interviewed during the I-130 process in the Philippines. She'll have to go into the U.S. Embassy and be interviewed, how well she knows me, things like that, which right now, I mean, she could pass any question they could ask. We know everything about each other. Everything. But trust me, we cover every subject under the sun. We know each other probably better than most married couples that have been together for years know each other. We know. So, except for the physical aspect, obviously. So we get married on the 15th. We'll take our honeymoon after that. Prior to that, between the New Year and our marriage, we will take some trips. There's some places I wanted to check out in the Philippines, because eventually I'm probably moving over there and living there. It only costs about a third to live there is what it does here. I mean, just the mortgage on this house right here, I can live like a king on that amount. And that's with a house and car and living expenses and things like that. So that was something my late wife and I had planned on doing when I retired. Hey, I can retire any day now. If this whole visa process doesn't work, you're probably going to hear about the world's largest yard sale. Everything must go, including the house. I'll move over there. I can live like a king. The way the world is turning out, I'm just not sure I really want to be here right now. Anyway, that's another story. So I am going to be vlogging this whole journey, explaining about visas. I hope it's not too boring, but there may be other people that stumble across this channel that may have questions about it, and I'm hoping to be able to answer those. So I hope you'll join me for the journey. I am also planning to go over in July, and that's assuming a 12-month delay in between the time I get back from the end of January till she and her daughter can be here. So July kind of splits the difference, and we all have to be apart for 6 months at a time, right? Ooh, yeah, it's not a convenient situation, but it's something we're both dedicated to. It's something we're both devoted to, and I really think that we're going to have a great marriage once we are able to live together and develop the marriage and things the way that you should. The first year or so it's going to be tough. It's been tough all this time, just being only able to video chat. So anyway, I'll explain in the next video the whole marriage process. Oh my God, red tape. The Philippines is swimming in red tape. But that's the way they've done things for 100+ years, and change is very slow to happen. There are efforts to, somebody at the apartment's alarm went off. Steal it, it's cheap. Okay, they shut it off. Anyway, sorry. Sorry for the noise. This is my happy place out here on the porch. I prefer to record out here. And anyway, I hope you'll join me for this whole journey. It's going to be quite crazy, and you know, I'm going to go through all of the visa processes and everything that I learn as I learn it. The marriage system, it takes 10 days to get a marriage license. I'll explain all that, why, and what we all have to do. And I'm in the process of my part. She's in the process of her part. That's something we're dedicated to doing, and we're going to do it. Call me crazy, call me in love, whatever it is. I mean, I really am. I love this woman, and she's just the most phenomenal person I've ever met. She just really warms my heart every time I talk to her. I can't stop thinking about her, even after all this time. My trip over there, I've never been to South Korea. Maybe I'll get to see some of South Korea from the windows at the airport, because I'm only going to be there for a little over 2 hours. And the trip to the Philippines, what we do at the Philippines. I got a really cool Airbnb. Some of you may not like it, but I thought it was pretty cool, so I booked it. Coincidentally, it's only like 250 yards away from her parents' house where she lives. So, you know, yeah, visitation will be a thing, and that was something I took into consideration when I booked this. It's got a huge deck, it's a huge patio area, so entertaining and stuff. Maybe even my bachelor party, we can have that on my rooftop terrace. Anyway, I'll vlog all of that, the show when we take trips. We're hoping to live stream the wedding, and I'll vlog it also. I've got a lot of family here that would like to see the wedding. They can do it if we live stream it, and so we're making arrangements for all of these things. Our honeymoon, BAAACK is a cool place. Google it, you'll see. We plan on parasailing, renting jet ski, taking evening cruise. They call it sunset cruise around the island, dinner cruise. We've got plenty of things we're planning for on our honeymoon, and then my flight back, the trials and tribulations of being a husband that's missing his wife, you know, and we're gonna try and put this all together throughout the next year and a half, and I hope you guys stay with us, and I hope anybody that stumbles upon this, I hope that you can ask me questions. Give me suggestions. You know, I don't know it all. I'm trying to learn every day. I hope God blesses you all. I hope you're all doing well. And stay tuned. This is going to be a wild ride. Love you all. Have a good one.